One question that I'd like to maybe say a little bit more about is, we talked earlier a little bit about we call them the big three, right? Silicon Valley, New York, Boston. And, say a founder were to just buy an expensive plane ticket and fly out to New York. And they're an Atlanta-based company or they're a Tampa-based company. What are the chances that they would even have a private capital provider be willing to talk with them if they're not from one of the big three markets?
Yeah. I
Is
mean,
there a
if they
difference
don't have
there?
a solid connection or they don't have a company that everyone's fighting for, if
Yeah,
it's just a company with $1 million in revenue and they're just, very similar to other companies, they're not going to get a return call.
yeah,
They're not going to be able to do that. But, the funders that come to Venture Atlanta, they're there for a reason.
yeah.
Not only are they there to see companies, they're there to meet their peers. They're there to, hey, I need a lead on, investor. Like there's great story. There's a fund in North Carolina, Front Porch Ventures, and they've done, I mean, they've only been around a couple years. I think they've done 9 deals in Venture Atlanta alumni companies, but their funders are also, Fulcrum and all, funds all over the place. So they met their LPs and their companies at Venture Atlanta. And that's how it is for a lot of people.
That's really interesting. So, what I'm hearing you say is that there is a very high level of accessibility in
Yes.
terms of just having these conversations and building these networks, and finding people willing to listen.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, not to say, certainly want to preface and, say not every single, meeting invitation you send out will be accepted. I say that to
right.
people, all the time. And there are people that are beyond eager, but,
Sure.
I tell a founder, I'm like, if you look at who you should be talking to, and you're looking at an investor who writes, checks in the $500,000 to $2 million range, and they write checks all over the Southeast, and they're focused on healthcare. Yeah, reach out to them. But if it's a
Mhm.
company that says we do, companies that have 5 million in revenue and they have to be all cyber, they're not going to meet with a healthcare company.
Right.
So I mean, be smart of, who you reach out to and why.
No, absolutely. And you bring up a really good point about understanding who it is who's here, who's in Atlanta generally, who's at Venture Atlanta specifically, understanding the investment thesis that a capital firm has, like that is step one, because these capital firms, I know our investment team, they review thousands of pitches a year,
Right.
thousands.
Right.
Everybody has ideas. Some of those ideas are great ideas. Some of them are not ready for the world yet, and that's okay. But, what I'm curious to hear from you, kind of given, these conversations you're having and knowing who's here and understanding how important preparation is, what does prepared look like? If you're talking to a founder, what does prepared look like? And then, like, if you're talking to an investor,
Yeah.
what does prepared look like?
I mean, I think it's real simple. I think when we hand you the list of companies, I mean, scan through it. If there's companies that were on your radar, look who's there. But then you could get on the mobile app, and if you pick an investor, you can see the size checks they write, the regions they're in. You could then go to their website. You could then message them on LinkedIn. You could connect with them on LinkedIn in advance.
Yeah.
We were actually working with a company called Link this year in
Mm.
Alabama. And so our name tags will have, the connecting capabilities. And, what's so cool is that, I mean, I know I'm the person that like, I'll talk to some people at conferences, and maybe I message or I connect with someone on LinkedIn. And then afterwards I'm like, who did I talk to? Like, I
I
can't
hear
remember who I talked to. Well, every attendee will actually get a list of everyone they connected with. So if you connected with someone, it's going to show you who you connected with. And I think you could then look afterwards and go, was that the right people? Oh, you know what? I really wanted to hit these people up. I'm going to go follow up with them. And as a investor, we give out our conference book, with the information about the companies. Like, you can read up on the companies. We want you to listen to their pitches. Just because you looked at a company online, you looked at their website, like, listen to their pitch, listen to the the excitement in the founder's eyes, I mean, and voice, and you might just go, God, you know what, I really wasn't sure what this company did, but clearly, look at their logo slide, look at their growth, their financials, look how they're really growing. And we know so many founders will just put in that hockey stick, and really we tell them every time, we're like, take that, like, we're like, stop. You're not going from 12,000 to 15 million in a year. Like, just stop.